Well, hello and welcome to day 2 of the Mental Health Awareness Week. I'm laughing because I'm talking about mental health and talking about some of the things that might cause us some frustration at this time. Technology. So I recorded all of the 7 steps videos at the weekend. They all went really, really well. I kind of had all the points that I wanted to put across. I then spent time editing all those videos, so they had my logo in and little sort of points popping up here and there. Edited them beautifully and published the first one, which obviously was great and went out yesterday. Every subsequent video since then, when I try and publish it, it flips me upside down. And I have tried absolutely everything that I can to try and get these videos right. I've tried different computers, I've redone them completely, and you know what? I've just got to a point now where I give up because I'm getting myself so worked up and so stressed out. And actually, let's just put aside for a moment the point about becoming aware of mental health, and let's just take a moment to pat everyone on the back that has been absolutely just gunning for different technological mediums and systems and things over the last couple of weeks, because do you know what? Technology is great when it works, but when it doesn't and you can't figure out why it's not, it's the most frustrating thing. And I literally just had to step away from it all and just say, do you know what? This is I can't let this take over my life. So anyone out there that is trying desperately to utilize technology, and there's a lot of us, and I imagine that devices and apps and systems and software is probably getting more use than it has ever got. So maybe we just need to give that a break in terms of we're expecting a lot more from all these things at the moment. My dishwasher's packed up as well. I've never cooked so much and the dishwasher's never been going so much, so I'm not surprised. Anyway, all these devices that are meant to make our lives easier, we are absolutely utilising them at the moment. So yeah, anyway, in terms of choosing my mindset, I've just said, you know what? I've had enough of getting frustrated and getting wound up about this. I've been, for the past probably 36 hours, trying to solve this problem. And I just thought, you know what, this, for the sake of a logo and a few little bits and pieces that pop up every now and again, I'm just going to put the camera on, point and shoot, and go for it. So here we are. So step 2 of your Become More Mental Health Aware videos. Step 2, following on from step 1 yesterday, when we talked very much about tuning into those behavioural changes and really using them as an alert and learning to be appreciative of them, even when that behaviour is questionable or when we struggle with it. Finding some gratitude in those behavioural changes, because they can be absolute indicators that something is going on. Step 2 now is to try and find out what's going on. So step 2 is seek first to understand. And again, it's so hard. I talked about judgment in the first video, and when we experience uncharacteristic behaviour or what we deem to be inappropriate or unacceptable behaviour, we react. It generates a reaction in us. It's usually a fight or flight reaction, because an emotion's been poked or whatever. And we do run the risk of responding to that behaviour. And I'm a massive believer that behaviour breeds behaviour, that we're always at risk if someone behaves with aggression towards us, or if someone behaves with sadness towards us, or someone retreats from us. Actually, we can be at risk of responding in exactly the same way. So I want us to kind of go back to putting a pin in our judgment, suspending our judgment, and learning to appreciate that those behavioural changes can be welcome indicators that something's not quite right. And now it's about seeking to understand what's going on. And this is so important. It's about finding out what's happening, and it's about finding out what's happening without judgment. And we have to be careful, because sometimes even in this situation, we can still have our own agenda. We can still be holding on to how that person's behaviour has made us feel. So we go into an interaction to understand what's going on with a view to still getting our point across. And actually, it's not about us. Something's happening over here, and we want to find out what's going on, and we want to find out what's going on without judgment and with curiosity and not criticism. So it's about suspending your judgment. It's about suspending your reaction. It's about suspending any outcome that you want to get from this, and solely going to understand what's happening from that other person's perspective, without judgment, without a desired outcome, without wanting to get your point across. Now, there's a couple of reasons why this is really powerful to do, to seek first to understand, and to not have a massive desire to be understood. The first thing is it's about finding out what's going on. It's about saying, whoa, what just happened there? That's not like you. That's unusual. Please tell me, are you okay? What's happening? What's going on for you right now? It's about finding out what's actually going on, what's happening, what's driving this behaviour. We talked about the iceberg. Behaviour is the tip of the iceberg. There's so much going on underneath that we don't see, and yet we very often judge the behaviour. So how can we just put that aside and figure out what's going on beneath the surface? Because there could be any number of things that's driving that behaviour, and we want to give ourselves the best chance of finding it out. Now, don't get me wrong, anyone out there who has tried this may well have often come up against, well, nothing's wrong, I'm fine, or whatever. And sometimes you don't actually find out what's going on. But here's a reason why it's important to ask anyway, whether you think you're going to get an answer or not. When someone is in the grip of mental health challenges, whether it be depression, anxiety, fear, whatever it might be, actually what's happening there is that there's potentially some damage taking place at a subconscious level, and at a self-concept level, and at a self-esteem level. Anyone out there who's suffered from depression or anxiety will know that actually your self-esteem is one of the first things to suffer. Now, when somebody comes to you with genuine curiosity and genuine concern and genuine compassion, and wants to find out what's going on and wants to help or whatever, even if you're not in a space that you're ready to offer that, or maybe you don't even know what's wrong at that point, you've perhaps not noticed yourself that there's something wrong. Just the fact that someone has approached you with genuine concern and curiosity and no agenda other than to find out what's going on with you speaks to that self-concept. It says at that self-concept, self-esteem level, I care about you. I'm concerned about you. And when someone is in the grip of mental health challenges, anything we can do to chip away at some of those negative views of self, a negative self-concept, at low self-esteem, anything we can do to chip away at that is incredibly powerful. Please don't ever underestimate the power. We said yesterday, you're not diagnosticians, you're not GPs, you're not psychologists, you're people supporting people. So this isn't about you coming up with solutions. But please don't underestimate the power that just your genuine compassion and empathy can have on another person, particularly somebody who is struggling at a deep self-concept level. So there are your two reasons. One, it would be great to find out what's going on. It would be great to understand what's really happening for a person, and without our agenda clouding the situation, without the way we feel about what we've just observed clouding the situation. But it's also great to convey, it's very powerful to convey that genuine concern and curiosity and compassion to another human being. You might not get any answers at that stage, but what you're saying to that person at a subconscious level is, I care about you. You might not care about yourself. You might be struggling with stuff at the moment, but you are not alone. So please don't ever underestimate the power of setting aside your own judgment and seeking first to understand what is happening for a person. And the other thing about that is, sometimes when we fully understand a situation, our agenda changes. I might be really pissed off by the way someone has responded to me. They might have snapped at me, or they might have withdrawn from me, and that might make me really, really angry. Actually, that emotion isn't helpful if I want to be of compassionate support to somebody else who's struggling. And once I find out what's really going on for that person, I might not be angry anymore. Because now I understand the reason why my anger's gone. So my need, if you like, to put across to that person how they've made me feel no longer exists, because actually I understand now what's driven that behaviour. And again, thinking about yourself, if you're somebody that is, that has noticed uncharacteristic displays of behaviour, or has noticed that they're out of sorts for whatever reason, it's about giving yourself the space to understand what's going on. So asking yourself those questions, those those genuine, compassionate questions with curiosity. Very often, if we respond in a certain way to a situation, we feel guilty about it afterwards. If we snap at somebody, or if we withdraw from somebody, or retreat from somebody, or just behave in ways that are uncharacteristic, often what comes with that is guilt. So what I would say there is that the guilt isn't helpful. So it's about it's acknowledging that you might have felt that guilt, but quickly putting that to one side and saying, okay, right, I do feel guilty about this, but actually there must be a reason why I'm out of sorts at the moment. There must be a reason why I've responded in that way to that person. What could it be? You really seek to understand what's going on for you as well. So it's not just about supporting other people, it's about becoming aware of your own mental health and becoming patient and non-judgmental about your own mental state. And I guess that's where I've been in this last sort of 36 hours, really tuning into what these technological issues were doing to me. They were putting me in a really frustrated place, negative place, heart pounding, getting angry, and it's just actually, whoa, stop, put a pin in this. What's going on here? What's happening? And is there another way? So step one, tune into those behavioural changes, learn to appreciate them as your first early indicators or alerts that something else is going on. And then step two, really genuinely seek to understand without agenda and without judgment what is going on there. And like I say, even if you don't get the answers, just the fact that you have shown that compassion, just the fact that you've said to another human being or to yourself, you're important enough for me to want to know what's going on here. Please never underestimate the power of that in those early sort of interactions when you suspect there could be some mental health challenges. So it wasn't quite as I'd hoped it would be. Wasn't quite as slick and quite as nicely edited, but you know what? The point is still the same. The sentiment is still the same. So I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe with an edited video, maybe just freestyling it like this. But I will definitely be back tomorrow with step 3 and every day for the rest of the week. I hope your week is going well so far. I wish you all the best. Happy Mental Health Awareness Week. And let's start a movement. And I'll see you all soon.